People living on our educational system don't teach.
Right.
When my uncle came back from the World War II, he resumed being a public school teacher in Iowa. He was one, my mother was one, and he taught a full load of classes in Iowa, and they gave him a few bucks extra to be superintendent of schools. That was it. Those farmers were not going to pay their money for some guy to sit at a desk and look important. At UCSD, when I started out in science 50 years ago, all the scientists did their own ordering. We did almost all the bureaucracy. At Caltech, if a student needed something, the faculty, scientists, famous scientists would get in there and help. You don't need these people. You do not need to give half of your education money to a bunch of people that ride desks. Now, I'm not against all those people. There are a lot of nice, dedicated people that work in those jobs, but we don't need them there. They need to be somewhere else. And so that actually we'd save money if we raise their salaries 50% and say, you guys have to do your own administration. In the next 2 months, we closed the schools, we've rehired the teachers, we put their salaries up 50%, and the next 2 months is best educators in this country designing the most fantastic curriculum imaginable in reading, writing, mathematics, science, engineering, economics, history, real subjects, because we're not going to rehire the teachers that teach basket weaving either. And at the end of that 3-month period, those schools start again. And we make the DC schools the best schools in the world and set an example for the states and the localities, because we have no jurisdiction over anything except the DC schools. Now, this sounds pie in the sky, right? You're going to fix this whole problem in 1 year in DC and in the country. But look at this. Even our good Republican politicians, they want to improve things. They suggest, some vouchers or merit pay for teachers. There are 50 million American young people in those schools today. I'm not interested in, I'd like to fix those problems for the next generation, but we have to fix them for this generation. It has to be done now. Those kids in DC, there's no point in saying, well, we'll write them off and pass some laws and try to get this thing fixed gradually, and maybe 20 years from now, the schools will be, no way. Those are kids. I've taught a lot of young people. I'm looking at a student, and I want him to do the best. Now, it'd be nice. I want to improve things. My colleagues want to improve things. We want the next student to be even better, because we get better at our job. But I'm not interested in writing them off because it's convenient. We have to fix the schools for those 50 million kids. And every school, even the really good ones in America, and I hope you have some in this community, needs to be better. And America has to be first in education again instead of last. And a congressman could do it. I'm sure that I could get the Congress to pass a law to do that to the DC schools. They'd have to, because if you publicize what it was, they couldn't oppose it. And you could do it. You can make those schools an example, and then get out of the rest of the education, because it's unconstitutional for Congress to be involved in it. These are the sorts of things that won't be proposed by career politicians. And I don't know what you think of it. Maybe you're going to beat me up after I stop talking. But I've been an educator all my life, and it really bothers me that these students are being written off. I'd like to live in a country again where there is no homeschooling, because we don't need it, just like we didn't 50 years ago. And I'd like to talk to you about all these other issues too, but I don't have time, so we'll have questions, and maybe, yes.